In recent years, Turkey has joined the list of countries deepening relations and ties with African countries. While it still doesn't have the influence in diplomatic relations that the West, China, and even Russia has, the presence of Turkey in Africa has certainly been growing in the last few years. Interestingly, when the countries of the Sahel region kicked out French troops and cut off ties with France, as well as the West, Turkey was among the countries that the Sahel countries turned to, especially for trade. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have all deepened trade relations with Turkey. However, they are not the only ones. Somalia, a country in East Africa and rarely talked about, is another African country that has deepened ties with Turkey in recent times. Located in the Horn of Africa, Somalia is one of those African countries that is generally considered by the media as very poor, ravaged by unending conflict, and needs help from the West. Despite this, not only does Turkey have strong trade relations with Somalia, it also has a strong military connection with the East African country. In fact, recently, Turkey, which already has a military presence in Somalia, agreed to extend its troops' presence in the country for another 2 years. So the question is, why is Turkey deepening ties with Somalia? What does it intend to gain? Let's find out. The close relations between Turkey and Somalia started in 2011. You see, Somalia is one of those African countries that regularly suffers from severe famine. And in 2011, it struck, leading to the death of hundreds of thousands of people. At the same time, the country was dealing with insecurity problems, with different armed groups clashing and causing chaos. This meant that the country was not safe. Now, when the famine struck, Western NGOs were present in the country, carrying out humanitarian services. However, as a result of the insecurity, the NGOs abandoned their work and fled the country. Essentially, the West abandoned the country. Surprisingly, Turkey decided to step into the situation. President Erdogan became the first non-African president to step foot in the country in 2 decades and launched a partnership that extended beyond humanitarian services. The Turkish government was quick to act on their intending partnership with Somalia, and the following year, in 2012, Turkey launched the Turkish Airlines in Mogadishu. This airline reconnected Somalia to the world, showing its commitment to helping Somalia recover through trade and tourism. But Turkey went beyond building an airline. Turkish companies began managing key infrastructures in Somalia, including airports and ports, further strengthening economic ties and solidifying Turkey's role in Somalia's reconstruction. This approach, which was different from the humanitarian and military aid approach used by the West, made Turkey to emerge as one of the most influential partners in Somalia. Turkey proved that it was genuinely interested in seeing the growth and development of Somalia. Now, over the years, Turkey, a major NATO partner, has grown to be deeply invested in Somalia. In February 2024, Turkey and Somalia signed a major landmark deal to bolster naval defenses against piracy and security threats. The reason for this is that Somalia has the longest coastline in Africa, and with its location in the Horn of Africa, it has become a global maritime transport hub. This means that Somalia has some of the world's vital trade routes. So the deal between Turkey and Somalia was to secure these vital trade routes and affirm Turkey's commitment to Somalia's sovereignty. The pact, signed between Turkish Defense Minister Yasar Güler and his Somali counterpart Abdülkadir Mohamed Nur, underscores both countries' growing military partnership and shared objective in promoting regional stability. Although the central focus of the pact was counterterrorism, the agreement, however, extends beyond bolstering Somalia's military capabilities against groups like Al-Shabaab. It actually envisions broader economic cooperation, encompassing potential joint ventures in various sectors. This economic dimension is particularly significant for Somalia, as the country is aiming to attract much-needed investments and contribute to its long-term development goals. The recent agreement, however, comes amidst complex dynamics in the East Africa region, particularly concerns surrounding a recent deal between Ethiopia and Somaliland that has strained relations with Somalia. But with its commitment to Somali sovereignty and territorial integrity, Turkey's stance could bolster Somalia's position in addressing these regional challenges. However, this pact has raised concerns amongst other regional players wary of Turkey's growing influence in the Horn of Africa. Now, as you know, Turkey is certainly not doing all this without getting something in return. So, what exactly is Turkey getting from this security deal and all its investment in Somalia? Well, the first thing you should know is that the agreement between Turkey and Somalia is a part of the Turkish strategy in recent years. This strategy is all about utilizing any crisis to the maximum level for the benefit of Turkey. Are you shocked? Well, every country is working for its own interest, so it shouldn't come as a surprise. You see, Ethiopia and Somaliland, another African country, signed an agreement which granted Ethiopia commercial and naval access to Somaliland's coast. Somaliland shares a border with Somalia, and Somalia saw the agreement with Ethiopia as an existential threat which led to a security crisis. Turkey saw this crisis as an opportunity, and when the Somalia government requested for help, Turkey quickly responded. The end result of Turkey's response was the defense pact, which would last for the next 10 years. For those that still haven't gotten what Turkey stands to gain, we will explain. Firstly, Turkey's military presence in Somalia will increase and might even lead to the addition of a small airport for military planes in the military training center in Somalia. If you observe critically, countries looking towards increasing their global status have strong foreign policy, and one of those policies is to have a strong military presence outside their own country. The US, UK, France, Germany, Russia, and China all have strong military presence outside their countries. So, increasing its military presence in Somalia is definitely a plus for Turkey, which means Turkey is among those countries that is seeking to improve its status globally. Secondly, the agreement can pave the way for Turkey's presence in the open seas in the region, and, therefore, its effectiveness in the developments in the Gulf of Aden. Given that Somalia is a global maritime transport hub, and Turkey's naval forces will be patrolling its waters, it's not far-fetched to say that Turkey has already taken its place in the open seas, something that is vital for trade. In addition to this, Turkey's overall investment in Somalia is not just an act of goodwill, but to gain international clout and, as we said earlier, increase its global status. Already, the government of Somalia regards Turkey as a very strong and reliable ally, and the fact that Turkey is a member of NATO makes it sweeter for the Somalia government. Let's also not forget that Turkey was there for Somalia back in 2011, when most of the countries and NGOs abandoned the country. Turkey was the only one that extended a helping hand to the country and worked to ensure its reconstruction beyond humanitarian aid. The fact that Turkey could do this for Somalia when no one else could has created an image and a narrative in the globe about Turkey. Even though Turkey certainly has an ulterior motive in helping Somalia, it has shown that it is a dependable ally, and that is a country that any country would want to partner with. Another thing Turkey is gaining from Somalia is trade. As we already said, Somalia has a strategic location in the Red Sea region, just like Djibouti, and any country that has access to these countries has hit a gold mine. Turkey's investment in Somalia ensures that it has a trade partner. Just a few months ago, Turkey and Somalia signed an oil and gas exploration deal. Imagine the profits that Turkey would get from this deal. The interesting thing is that a lot of countries are vying to have the kind of foothold that Turkey has in Somalia because of its strategic location and resources. One of such countries is the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. The UAE has been managing ports in the Horn of Africa, and since Somalia is in the same region, it has been eyeing Somalia. So, since last year, the UAE has been trying all sorts of diplomacy to sign a similar security deal with Somalia. However, Somalia chose to sign the deal with Turkey. As you can imagine, the UAE was shocked and disappointed, but of course, nothing could be done about it. Somalia chose Turkey as its partner. Russia is also another country trying to gain a foothold in Somalia. As you know, in recent years, Russia has been deepening its ties with African countries. For Somalia, Russia decided to cancel the country's $684 million debt and deliver 25,000 tons of grains. This was a huge investment by Russia in Somalia, and it just wasn't to make friends with Somalia, but to stake a claim in the region. Somalia, like other African countries, is gradually turning into another site to be claimed by foreign powers. Will the government of Somalia sit back and let others determine its destiny, or will it take charge? Time will tell. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.